and welcome back to Spirit Mom. Today it's Spirit School. We're going to discuss the power of prayer. Prayer. And not a specific prayer that we've talked about before, but your prayer, your intent, your wanting to reach higher, and not just meditating and doing it that way, but actually just please God and the things you want to ask for. Because I haven't actually deeply discussed how to pray, because it's something that you have to feel into, because we can't throw our hands together and just beg and not have an awareness of our energy. And maybe it'll come true and maybe it won't. But if you really want to effectively pray, then you need to know how to be in the now, to be present. If you're lost in the future or lost in the past, then you're not there praying. Your animal body is spouting out some words, and a part of you is aware of what's going on, but your essence is not there doing it. Because remember, there is no time and space to your higher self. When you pray, your prayers can have an effect on the past, they can have an effect on the future. Things that happen to you now could be because of things that you prayed for in the future. There is no time in the other higher realms that your higher self dwells in. So what this means for us is we need to get into that timeless space if we want to be effective prayers, if we really want to hit the money shot with our prayer. And that's not guaranteeing it's going to happen though, because keep in mind, your higher self knows best. And yes, you can manifest in vibrations and become the master of your own universe. But keep in mind, is you are still in the human body and your higher self knows best. So sometimes you still will be usurped, but it'll be by your higher self. If you're coming from a truest of true points, like you're really, really in the zone, then know that if you still didn't get it, you're not meant to have it. So that's okay. That's why we have to let it go. This is why when we put stuff out into the universe, we also need to let it go at the same time. It's a balancing act, because that too can get in the way of our prayers. When we pray for something, but we're holding on to it too tight, we actually create an energetic barrier between us and what we are praying for, because we want to have fluidity with what we've prayed for. We want our prayers to remain in this fluid place where we have connected and sent it up, but we're allowing the higher self to alter it as it sees fits. That's why we're letting it go. We're letting it go because we're making it okay if we get it or not. And that's harder than it might sound. Like the words come out easily, but energetically, emotionally doing that, especially when we're praying for something that we're desperate for, it's hard to just let that go. Like, I'd like this, but it's okay if not. Like, you kind of energetically have to get yourself into that place. Otherwise, you're setting up that barrier. And as well, we need to make sure we're focusing in the now, that space that you find in meditation, you find in the now, where you can feel like that middle pillar connecting from root to crown, and you are plugged in, is the term I feel suits best for that feeling. You're plugged in and you're sending it up, although up isn't even an accurate term, but it just suits the situation best to envision it up, because that's where we're sending it in our reality. Another thing to keep in mind is as we pray to God, it's actually interesting to know, because you know how they used to worship the sun? Well, God, when you trace back the original translations of it, comes from the word day, the day, meaning probably the light. So God, the light, bringing our prayers to God, bringing our prayers to the light, it's just like when we think about bringing the shadow to the light. What's this doing? It's exposing it. It's making it truth. Bringing it to God is the light, is the truth, is reality. So it's just a way to think about it almost philosophically, about how we are making our prayers a reality. because we kind of want to almost be praying constantly about everything, but not in a begging way. And this is a manifestation thing that we're always doing. Our affirmations that we should always be saying inside our heads are, in a way, us constantly praying to our higher selves. Affirmations are great at rewiring the subconscious, but they're also good at constantly sending out those signals of prayer to the higher self that this is what you want. I want to be calm. I want to be calm. I want to be loved. I want to be loved. I want to be peace. I want to be peace. So we're sending that to the subconscious, letting it know we're becoming this, but then we're also praying that up and asking that to come down. So it's a real top to bottom solution when we're constantly using affirmations and acknowledging that they are prayer and they are rewiring. So they are a beautiful thing to just always be doing. Anytime, that's a good trick right there too that I definitely utilize. Anytime you catch your brain doing its negative thing that brains like to just go off to, and you're stuck at the light, next thing you know, you're stressing about that thing you have to do next weekend, and oh, this is going to go wrong, and this is going to go wrong. Stop yourself right there and go, I am peace and light. I am peace and light. Or next weekend's going to go great. Next weekend's going to go great. My family respects me. My family respects me. My children adore me. My children adore me. Whatever you need to do to tell yourself that next weekend with the family and the kids is going to go great. Or just steer back your attention to what you're doing. You're driving. The traffic is fantastic. The traffic is fantastic. And so you're shutting down that negative feedback because it's constantly just making things worse, and you're helping rewire the situation, and you're sending up a prayer, assuming you're doing it in a conscious place. But for that matter, even if you're not doing it as prayer and you're just subconsciously saying those affirmations, you're still doing better than letting your mind absent-mindedly think negative thoughts, because that's what honestly holds the most of us back so much. Because we can consciously do the right thing. We can meditate, yoga, pray, deep breathe, eat healthy, right? But the next thing you know, you're not paying attention and your mind is sitting there going, oh my God, 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 oh my God. And it's just freaking out again. It's like, oh my God, shh, didn't we fix this yet? It's hard. They say that trauma is actually how you deal with the present. We think of trauma as a wound from the past, and it is technically kind of a wound from the past, but what trauma really is what it has done is altered how we handle the present situation, how we handle our now. This is why we need to tap in and consciously become part of the now, because if we're just living in our moment, trauma takes over and it lives that's the subconscious. It lives in the subconscious, but specifically people that have trauma, that trauma has altered our entire future unless we step in with a firm, loving hand and change that using the conscious prayer. That is the most effective way. And it doesn't even need to be just using this for selfish, clearing our own subconscious and trauma reasons. When we have a tapped in prayer, you can pray to anybody alive. You could pray to anybody dead, because of that collective subconscious that everybody still lives in, right? Because we are all existing at the same time. So that means everybody is in there right now that you could possibly think of. They're all in there. Grandma, Jesus, Buddha, the next door neighbor, dead or alive, right? And you probably want to pray to somebody that has a lot of energy, positive energy. You're not going to be stealing their energy. Their higher self is going to be grateful to because if you go up the rungs, we're all the same higher self. Once you keep going up and up and up in dimensions, once you get to not even necessarily all the way up at the all. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm probably sure that at some point, Earth and humans are their own node before it keeps going up and that breaks off. The archangel theory. Have you ever heard that one? How we are all Michael, the archangel, we're his blood cells, the whole universe just is an angel. That's fascinating, I think. But that's all theories, and it's not part of my actual universal laws. That's just interesting to think about, that all our brains are connected, and we technically are somewhere in existence, one being walking around together. So this is why we can pray to God, pray to the all, pray to our higher selves, pray to any single person you ever want to pray to that you think is going to do good for you. Because when you tap into that now space, to that present gift, then you can open doors for yourself and anybody you want to pray for in ways that just wouldn't happen in natural reality, right? So we have this power to utilize anytime we can tap into it. Okay, good luck. I recommend trying it out right away. Goodbye for now, Spirit Mom.